fixed gear bike in tow, and they go for a light jog at lunch, and then they eat a power bar, or they bow out after drinks for a quick little jaunt on the elliptical. Sure, they're gym rats, and they're pretty darn annoying. But they may be onto something when it comes to, wait for it, mental health. Yep, we're going to get you into their camp without having you invest in leg warmers and wristbands. Today on Wellcast, we're going to be talking about exercise. Now, we all know that exercise can help out with our weight and our strength and our endurance and our flexibility. But how much do you know about the effects of exercise on the mind? Physically, the benefits of exercise are pretty obvious. And the American College of Sports Medicine recommends 30 minutes of moderate physical activity per day. The Surgeon General, well, he agrees. It'll keep your heart healthy, your weight down, and all systems go. But the psychological benefits of exercise are actually just as compelling. Physically active people show significantly fewer symptoms of depression than sedentary people. A study done by doctors at the University of Texas Medical Center found that people who exercise 30 minutes per day were almost half as likely to be depressed as people who did not. Exercise also releases endorphins to the brain, creating a sense of well-being. It makes people high on wellness, and it's natural, legal, and it won't give you the munchies. Along with it getting you awesomely pumped up on endorphins, exercise increases alpha wave activity to the brain. That's the kind of brainwave that helps you clear your mind and focus. But now, we've come to a roadblock. To a lot of people, exercise is boring. You don't like getting sweaty. It's uncomfortable. It's not fun. You don't have time. The list goes on. But that's why we're here, and we're going to get you into a brain-clearing, focus-building exercise routine that won't seem too daunting to start. And we're going to get your brain to realize why exercise is essential. Time for our Wellcast journal workout. And we actually mean a physical one this time. First, set aside 30 minutes to work out. That's right. Put on that workout gear of choice. Crank up your music. Get your heart rate up. Get sweaty. Dance around if you need to. Do jumping jacks. Jog in place. Take a break to do a few sit-ups. Nothing too intimidating, though. Okay?
boast again, a boast from Nicole. But a great cross-court there, got onto it really quickly.
And it all started with the first drop shot that David played about 20 strokes ago, which had Massaro out of position. She was chasing the point, and that was the last one.
And Nicole really chasing this ball down. Massaro trying to put it away. Another great boast, but Nicole's onto it. Beautiful lob back into the rally. Oh, yes, and well played there from Laura. I really felt then that Nicole was going to get into that rally and come out on top, but Massaro hung on in there. So Laura really needing to get herself back into this first game. Better cross-court there, better width. Allows her to play that drop shot and really needs to finish this off, but Nicole back onto it again, and a great tight ball from Nicole under pressure.
Well, that means 7 game balls here for Nicole David for a 1-game lead after, what, barely 5 minutes. There it is. Well, it couldn't really have been too much more comprehensive than that. As Laura Massaro has to regroup.
Nine all, 2-1 lead in the World Championship final.
Well, here we go. This is like something out of a comic book. Oh, what an outrageous rally! Extraordinary squash! People in the crowd jumping out of their seats. PJ's ended up on my lap. Well, where do we start on this one, PJ? How many shots do you want to talk about?
Well, the one between the legs for me has to be the pivotal moment of this rally. The wide cross-court comes round. Thank you. There's the dive from ashore. the attempted volley cross court.
Hand out.
But there's a one shot in the rally where
10-9.
Shorbagy hits the
Game
ball
ball.
between his legs.
When something's old, let me shed a little light on it. When something's cold, let me put a little fire on it. If something's old, I wanna put a bit of shine on it. When something's cold, I wanna fight to get it back again. Yeah, 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 yeah. Fight to get it back again. Yeah, 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 yeah. When something's broke, I wanna put a bit of fixing on it. When something's old, I wanna put a little siding on it. If something's low, I wanna put a little high on it. When something's lost, I wanna fight to get it back again. Yeah, 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 yeah. Fight to get it back again. When signals cross, I wanna put a little spade on it. If there's no love, I wanna try to love again. I'll say your prayers, I'll take your side. I'll find us a way to make life. I'll take your grave, we'll dance and sing what say could be our last lifetime.
Squash has dreamed of being an Olympic sport for a very long time. Having topped the vote for new sports at the IOC Congress in Singapore in 2005, squash was cruelly denied a place in the 2012 Olympic Games on the grounds that it did not achieve a two-thirds majority. Undeterred, squash resolved to pick itself up, dust itself off, and try again. Since that time, the World Squash Federation has made a number of changes to the game and the way it's organized.
It has overhauled the scoring system to make the game simpler and more appealing.
It has revised the refereeing system, now using 3 referees to deliver decisions quickly and accurately.
It has created an athletes commission represented on the WSF board to make sure that every evolutionary change is in the players' interests.
It has created new events all over the world, aimed at young people particularly, and has received record-breaking entries to Junior World Championships, which now occur every year.
It has embraced new media and the need to brand itself to attract young players to the sport. It has become fully WADA compliant.
It continues to develop the sport across the world and now counts 175 countries where squash is enjoyed and 147 member national federations.
It has invested heavily in televising the sport more clearly and in distribution of squash programming on television and the World Wide Web.
Squash is included in 20 major multi-sport games all over the world and is one of 10 core sports in the Commonwealth Games.
Yet it remains one of the most accessible, economical, egalitarian sports in the world. The average cost of a 45-minute game is just $4. No membership is required. Just turn up and play.
Beginners enjoy a steep learning curve that rewards as equally as it challenges. Squash is a sport that is easy to play, but where achieving greatness must be the result of hours of training on fitness and technique, and also on developing the mental and strategic skills needed to win a game. Squash has been called turbocharged chess. It is enthralling, exciting, absorbing, rewarding.
Les joueurs de squash sont de véritables athlètes. Les meilleurs joueurs de nos jours doivent courir à toute vitesse en quelques pas seulement et maintenir cette course pendant plus d'1 heure pour satisfaire les demandes du jeu. Ils doivent atteindre des coins profonds et revenir rapidement au centre du court après chaque coup. Ils doivent changer de direction sans perdre. Ne sont jamais trop fatigués pour aider.
Every professional player understands what it might mean to be an Olympic athlete. All will take such responsibility seriously and represent the Olympic Games positively in all that they do. None will let us or the Olympic movement down. Squash is a spectacle. It is played on portable glass courts that can be placed almost anywhere, viewed from any angle. The crowd surrounds the court. Iconic locations allow squash to develop the image and media value of the sport, bringing the game to the people. New spectators, non-squash playing fans, have multiplied.
It would be an honor for squash to showcase whichever city is chosen to host the games. We have already seen world-class competition at the Palacio Real in Madrid and in the Museum of Natural History in Chicago. We would love to see courts in Shibuya or framed by Sugarloaf Mountain.
Televising the sport is very simple. World-class coverage can be achieved with 6 or 7 TV cameras, some of them remote and unmanned. Our glass courts allow cameras to get in close without disturbing match play.
At the Olympic Games, squash can be staged at minimal cost and disruption to normal life in the host city. Courts are easy to erect and dismantle, and the sport takes up minimal space relative to the value it brings. It leaves no environmental footprint behind. In fact, the only thing squash will leave behind will be the 2 glass courts which the WSF will provide free of charge, and then donate to the host city after the Games, for the good of the development of the sport.
In the lead-up to the Games, competitors will use squash clubs in each candidate city for training. We have made the necessary arrangements already, again at minimum cost to the Games, but with maximum positive impact to the squash community in the host city. Our proposal includes only men's and women's singles, 32 draw competitions, adding only 64 athletes in total to the Olympic roster. Squash players typically travel alone without the entourage of coaches, psychologists, physiotherapists, doctors and analysts that characterize other sports.
2 competitions means only 2 sets of medals, and it also means a short time will be needed for actual competition. 6 days competition, plus a further 3 days setup and de-rig. This means that venues can easily be shared. Squash is gender neutral and is accessible to all ages, colors, and beliefs.
Squash promotes diversity. Based on current professional rankings, there could be 30 different nationalities represented in the 2016 Games. Current world champions represent Egypt and Malaysia. Recent world champions have represented France and the Netherlands. The Olympic movement stands for universality and equality. Squash demonstrates a level of universality that few sports can match. It is the only sport which can boast world champions, men and women, from all 5 IOC-recognized continents.
The Olympic Games is the pinnacle of world sport. Being one of the most athletic games played across the globe by a diverse and growing number of athletes, squash has never been so well placed to be a part of this amazing sporting spectacle.
I'm from Egypt. I'm the world #1, and I play Prince. Well, I've been playing with Prince since I was very young, and I kind of feel it's part of my hands. It's an extension, to be honest. The aerodynamics of this racket, or the way when you swing, it just feels so much different than any other racket. I've always felt so much more comfortable with playing the Prince racket. The ball comes the same way you want to hit it. It's as simple as that. And the sweet spot on this racket is everywhere. The way the ball comes out of the Prince racket is different than the ball when it comes out of different rackets. So when you play with the Prince racket, you kind of play the right way of squash, and the ball is going to come out the right way, the right speed, regardless the angle you're playing with, you know what I mean? The speed of the ball coming out of this racket is so much different and faster than the speed of the right ball coming out of any other squash racket. That's what I truly love about this racket. It's just, it's easier and simpler to play with. I used to go in an Ahram tournament in Egypt. I used to put the glass court right behind the pyramids. This was one, for me, it was something out of this world. Because I was so desperate to watch those legends playing behind the pyramids. You know, something for me out of this world, just getting goosebumps every second. I love being in New York. I love the venue, it's amazing. Hong Kong is just so good. You put the glass court right behind the harbor. Just amazing as well. Pro match routine, actually music helps me a lot to calm down. That's the most thing which I'm really fond of before matches. Give it 100% regardless the result, without thinking about the result. You should just live in the moment and not live the moment. You have to live in the moment, because this is a totally different story. You just have to always give it 100% and treat every day as if it's the last day right before the weekend. You know what I mean? Because everyone is always motivated on the last day right before the weekend. So that's how I kind of try to, you know, do every day. And if you pretty much give it 100% in every day you work on, and if you believe that actually is that every single minute makes a difference, every single effort makes a difference, you're kind of letting go of maybe what you want now, which is being relaxed for what you want the most, which is what you're going to get rewarded with later.
I'm Nicole David. I'm world number 1, and I play Prince. I've been with Prince since 2005, so that was my first world title and my first British Open title, and Prince have just been supporting me all the way. At the moment, I'm using the XO3 Rebel. When you use it and feel it, it just feels right. You know, it feels right on the ball. It has a great slice, and with the holes on the sides, it actually travels through the air faster. So even with the weight, it's a good weight, and it just feels good. You know, when you hit the ball, you know you're actually hitting a good shot. Even under pressure, you know the racket actually holds up. It doesn't just go because it's a true balance, and the feel of the ball is great. I'm using the Lightning strings, and yeah, it's helping me through. Well, I train 6 days a week, 2 to 4 hours a day, and it also ranges between a squash session and a physical session. I was 17, and I just tried the circuit for a year, and then a year later I was top 16 in the world, and I just didn't stop since, so it's 12 years now. The toughest challenging experience would have to be the transition from junior to seniors. The 7 titles that I had, I won the first 2, and in 2007 I lost it in the second round, which was, you know, I was really taken aback after that, and from then on I learned so much from that loss that I didn't want to lose again. So in 2008 up to now, I've won my 5 world titles, and I have to get ready for the next Worlds now. The Harbour View in Hong Kong, and that was my first world title there in 2005. And it's just a skyline of Hong Kong behind the glass court, and you can see just the boats going past on the waterfront, and just the atmosphere is just, you know, phenomenal. Continue to...
Hi, I'm Saurav Ghoshal from India, and I use the Prince XO3 Rebel. I'm pretty expressive in terms of my game, and I think the Prince racket accentuates that and gives me a slighter edge. We get faster racket head speed, which is really important on the Pro Tour, because the game is so much quicker now than what it was, and keeps getting quicker every year. So it really helps with, you know, reacting really quickly, getting the shots in the right spaces. The racket is perfect to get a good length, and also to, you know, feather the drop in really well, which is something that that my game is kind of built on. So I'd say the racket is perfectly suited to the way I play, and that's why I love it and I enjoy playing with it, and it's really important for me to enjoy my game to play well. I think I started when I was about 9 years old, and inspiration, probably my dad. He used to play a lot of squash, just club level stuff, but I just went with him, tagged along, tailed along, and here I am today basically. I think the best memory has to be winning the British Junior Open in 2004 in Sheffield in England. Was the first Indian ever to win the boys under 19, and I'm still the only one ever. I turned pro when I was 17, and I remember the first few months I couldn't get into any PSA event, and then finally when I did get in, I was like qualifier, like outside the top 12 of the qualifying, and I was just like, right, I'm just gonna go and play this. I'm so happy that I continue doing this because this is just a great life. I went to the University of Leeds because I wanted to train with Malcolm Willstrop, who trains James Willstrop, who's my training partner as well. And I couldn't think of a better place to be in if I want to be a professional squash player. My biggest win on the PSA Tour has been winning the Windy City Open in Chicago last year. That was the biggest win I've had. But I think one that I would probably cherish the most right now is I made the last 16 of the World Open last December. New York Grand Central, because it's just a really hustling and bustling place. There are a lot of people who come to watch, and it's just great atmosphere. But if I have to be partial, it has to be the PSA Masters in India because it's home crowd. You know, everyone's coming to watch you. I think the most important thing is that you believe in yourself, and inside your head you need to dream quite big. You have to work extremely hard. At the end of the day, the more work you put in, the more luck you're going to have on that squash court, and the farther you're going to get. So work hard and believe in yourself.